After I started dating Gu Hongshin, he spoiled me to the extreme. Everyone said that Gu Hongshin was completely smitten with me for life, until, after the engagement banquet, Gu Hongshin was nowhere to be seen. On the phone, a woman's coquettish gasps came through. "Brothershin, be gentle, you're hurting me." Hello, everyone, welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. Today was our engagement day, and all our relatives and friends were here. For this engagement banquet, Gu Hongshin took care of everything personally. Being extremely busy, Gu Hongshin specially invited a design team from France in advance to customize a wedding dress for me. Although I'm also a top-notch graduate in fashion design, compared with these masters, I felt like an amateur showing off in front of experts. During the makeup and styling, he sat beside me, his eyes only having room for me. He kept giving suggestions to the stylist over and over again to achieve the best effect. The store clerks surrounded us, looking envious. "You're so lucky. Your fiancé is not only generous, but also very attentive to you. Look at how his eyes are glued to you." I felt a bit embarrassed, but also agreed. He really did spoil me to the heavens, because I casually mentioned wanting to eat roast duck in the middle of the night. He flew directly to Kyoto to buy it back for me later. He even found a chef to cook it for me at home. He would prepare huge surprises for my birthday. When I was angry, he would throw himself into my arms, acting coquettish and asking for a hug to be forgiven. When I had menstrual cramps, he would rub his hands warm to cover my lower abdomen while shedding tears, saying, "I wish I could take the pain for you." Everyone who saw me gave their heartfelt blessings. They all said that the prince of the Hong Kong business circle had fallen for me. I would feel a bit shy when I heard this, but I also admitted it generously. Looking up, Gu Hongshin was the center of attention in the crowd. His black suit perfectly accentuated his noble temperament. He turned his head, saw my gaze, and responded with a faint smile. My heart felt full again. After the engagement banquet ended, when seeing off the guests, I didn't see Gu Hongshin appear for a long time. Suppressing the doubts in my heart, I saw off the guests and then called Gu Hongshin. The phone was picked up after just one ring. Before I could say anything, a woman's coquettish gasps came from the other end of the phone. "Ah, Brothershin, be gentle, you little thing. Look at your eager eyes. The banquet is about to end. Aren't you going to see off the guests? The guests are not as important as you. Concentrate on being with me." I covered my mouth tightly, not daring to make a sound, letting my tears fall. I didn't hang up until it was over on the other side. Gu Hongshin broke his promise again, and yet, that person still wasn't me. I had also tried to seduce him in various ways. He said, "I hope to have the ability to take responsibility for you before having a relationship with you." He would also gently tap my nose with his hand and complain, "I have to take a shower again. You're so naughty." In the 5 years we were together, he had never touched me. Yet on the day of our engagement, he had an affair with Bai Ling. This was the so-called preference of the prince of the Hong Kong business circle, but if it was true love, how could he get together with Bai Ling on the engagement day? My family went bankrupt, my parents committed suicide by jumping off a building, and only my seriously ill grandma was left to depend on me. To pay for grandma's high medical bills, I dropped out of school and took on many part-time jobs every day. Once, I was selling wine in a bar when I met Gu Hongshin, his friend, who was heartbroken from a breakup, got drunk and vomited all over me. He felt very sorry and took me to buy clothes. He paid the money and left without caring about my refusal. After Gu Hongshin left, I sold the clothes for cash and took the money to the hospital to pay for grandma's hospitalization fees. How could I have known that refusing his gift would arouse his desire to conquer? After that, he followed me around, helping me deal with all kinds of troubles. Another time, when I was molested by another rich second generation while selling wine, Gu Hongshin didn't hesitate to beat that person and send him to the hospital. To teach this rich second generation a lesson, Gu Hongshin asked his father for help. The price was to go to work in the company and give up his hedonistic lifestyle. This was something Gu Hongshin had been most reluctant to do before, but he agreed for my sake. When this news spread, the Hong Kong business circle was shocked. Everyone thought Gu Hamshin was just playing around, but they didn't expect it to be real. No wonder everyone thought so. After all, he was the prince of the business circle, and I was just an ordinary person who hadn't graduated from college. The gap in identity and class was too large, so I still didn't agree, until one day, Grandma put my hand in Gu Hamshin's hand. Xiaojing is in your hands now. You have to take good care of her in the future. Gu Hamshin patted his chest and promised. Grandma, don't worry, I will definitely treat her well. After hearing that I would be taken care of, Grandma left in peace. I cried my heart out. From then on, he treated me even better. He supported me to go to college and took me traveling during holidays. I had once been afraid of his parents' attitude, but when I first went to his home, his uncle and aunt gave me a lot of a sense of security. Xiaojing, we should thank you, otherwise Hamshin would still be a playboy and not willing to manage the company. Since Hamshin has chosen you, we won't interfere, no matter how good others are. It has nothing to do with us. Hamshin promised us that he will only be good to you for the rest of his life. Uncle also said, the family rule of our family is that listening to your wife will bring wealth. From now on, we'll leave the helm of the family to you. I felt both shy and touched. That night, I changed into a new lace and silk nightgown. Gu Hamshin hugged me in his arms and only kissed my forehead. I love you, but I hope we can wait until after we get married. I'm afraid you'll regret it. I hugged him even tighter, like a drowning person grasping at a life-saving straw. For a full 5 years, I thought we were finally going to get married, but reality slapped me hard. The phone rang. It was Gu Hamshin calling. I didn't want to answer. He kept calling again and again, annoyed. I simply turned off my phone. In the 5 years we were together, he gave me enough sense of security, so I never checked his phone. But that night, Gu Hamshin drank a lot of alcohol, came back very late, took a shower, and fell asleep right away. His phone messages kept flashing. Worried that it was something about the company, I opened it to check. It was from Bai Shotzi. I don't need you to be responsible. I did it voluntarily, but the president really has good stamina. Then there were several explicit photos. My first reaction was that someone was trying to defraud President Gu. I firmly believed that Gu Hamshin wouldn't betray me, but somehow, I scrolled up the messages, wanting to see how Gu Hamshin would retort, but the chat went on and on, page after page, with no end in sight. Only then did I realize that Bai Shotzi was Bai Ling. Somehow, Bai Ling's note had changed from assistant Bai to Bai Shotzi. Gu Hamshin had complained to me before. She might as well be called Bai Shotzi instead of Bai Ling. She's been working for half a year and is still so muddle-headed. It was me who introduced Bai Ling to be Gu Hamshin's secretary. I spent 2 hours going through more than 2 months' worth of chat records. President, I don't know how to do this form. Please help me, please. With a pitiful emoji, President. I accidentally deleted this report. How can I restore it? With a crying emoji, President. There were so many emojis, but he had never sent emojis when chatting with me. I had reminded him that using some emojis in chat would make him seem cute. Sending emojis wastes traffic and doesn't express much. It would be laughable if a Gu Hamshin with a net worth of hundreds of billions was afraid of wasting traffic. Now I see that it wasn't about wasting traffic, but rather wasting traffic by sending emojis to me. Gradually, the chat shifted from work to more of daily life, and the address changed from President to Brothershin. Thank you, Brothershin, for sending me home. I've experienced the joy of sitting in the passenger seat of Brothershin's car, with happy and jumping emojis. Thank you, Brothershin, for giving me the honor of having dinner at my place, with a gratitude emoji. The time was June 6th, 8 p.m. That day was Grandma's anniversary of her death. During the day, Gu Hamshin accompanied me to the cemetery and comforted me, saying he would have dinner with me at night. At that time, Gu Hamshin apologized to me, saying he couldn't get away from work at the company. I believed him. After all, the company was really busy during that period. Now I know that day, he went to send Bai Ling home and had dinner with her. It seems that Gu Hamshin must have been extremely happy that day. forgetting that I was waiting for him at home and also forgetting his promise to grandma. Later, Gu Hongshan would send Bai Ling home every day after work because Bai Ling had encountered a pervert on the way. Bai Ling complained that if she lived closer, she wouldn't need the president to pick her up and drop her off. Gu Hongshan simply gave her an apartment, and their contact became even closer. Brother Shin, come to my place for dinner after work. I'll cook braised pork in brown sauce myself. With a love heart emoji. Okay, I love your cooking. With a drooling emoji. Gu Hongshan doesn't like greasy food, especially braised pork in brown sauce. Now it seems he just didn't like the braised pork in brown sauce I made. Brother Shin, I was cheated on. Am I not good? With a crying emoji. No, it's not. That person is blind. With a hugging emoji. I don't believe it. Come and drink with me, and then I'll believe it. With a witty emoji. The time was 8 p.m. last night. At that time, Gu Hongshan, who had already opened the door, said to me, Xiaojing, there's a business worth several $100 million that needs to be dealt with at the company. I'm going out. You go to sleep first and don't wait for me. So, Gu Hongshan got drunk to comfort the heartbroken Bai Ling and didn't come back until 4 a.m. The so-called business worth several $100 million was Bai Ling's broken heart. Now it seems that it was indeed worth several $100 million. Even tens of billions, but it was about the descendants of Gu Hongshan, who is worth several $100 million, perhaps feeling guilty towards me. The next day, Gu Hongshan said he wanted to get engaged to me. I love you. Please marry me. I originally wanted to refuse. I know I've made mistakes. I don't expect you to forgive me, but that was all in the past. From now on, I just want to be with you. Please give me a chance. I promise I'll only love you from now on. Amid the cheering of the crowd, I agreed and forgave him. After that, I never saw Bai Ling again. I thought we would be happy forever. I thought that after the engagement, Gu Hongshan would change for me again, just like he gave up his hedonistic lifestyle for me. But the voice on the phone once again proved the old saying, a dog can't change its habit of eating shit. The idea that things would get better after the engagement was just my last glimmer of hope. The next day, when I opened the door, Gu Hongshan was sitting on the doorstep. It seemed that he hadn't slept all night. You're up. I called you yesterday, but you didn't answer. Did you turn off your phone? I didn't want to talk to him and didn't make any move to let him in. Gu Hongshan sensed that I was unhappy. Are you still angry that I wasn't there to see off the guests yesterday? Listen to my explanation first. I stared straight at him, waiting to see what kind of excuse he could come up with. It was all doughy, you know. He's been heartbroken from a breakup recently, seeing me getting engaged. He felt so upset that he dragged me to drink. I snorted. Really? Is there no other reason? Gu Hongshan took a step forward and held my hands. Honey, I promise there's nothing else. But he didn't know that his promises were as worthless as something mass-produced to me. Ah, Brother Shin, be gentle, you little thing. Look at your eager eyes. The banquet is about to end. Aren't you going to see off the guests? The guests are not as important as you. Concentrate on being with me. I recorded how long you two did it, and I listened for that long. I turned off the voice recording on my phone and looked down at him. Tears that I thought had already dried up fell to the ground again, splashing in all directions. No, there must be a misunderstanding. It must be synthesized by technology. You know how much I love you. Gu Hongshan didn't know where I got the recording and insisted that it was synthesized. In fact, I recorded it directly when I heard it on the phone that day. Even now, you still don't admit it. I simply took out other evidence. The phone was full of chat records. It gradually shifted from work-related topics to personal matters, from president to Brother Shin, and the flirtation was too obvious. Gu Hongshan, did you ever think of me even once when you were with her? 5 years. 5 years together couldn't compare to the half year you've known her. You lacked a woman to sleep with, and I could understand that. But when I took off my clothes, you didn't even budge, and then you went to sleep with Bai Ling. Why her? You know that Bai Ling is my only best friend. Did you think of me when you were doing this? My every question, my hysterical crying, couldn't compare to 1/10,000th of the pain in my heart. It was like putting my heart on a charcoal fire to roast. Half of it was a bloody mess, and the other half was dripping with blood. It really hurts. I wiped the tears from my face. Let's break up. No, we can't break up. You only have me. I couldn't help but sneer. Yes. You know I only have you. Yet you still betrayed me. Gu Hongshan's pupils dilated for a moment, then quickly returned to normal as he embraced me. Xiaojing, I'm sorry. I really love you. I didn't mean to betray you. It was just a mutually beneficial relationship between her and me. If you're unhappy, we can stop it. Then he murmured softly, besides, everyone keeps mistresses, and my family didn't say anything. This is the typical truth in the Hong Kong business circle, keeping the wife at home while having affairs outside. Sorry. But I can't accept this, and I gave you a chance, but you didn't seize it. I broke free from Gu Hongshan's embrace. Let go of me. I think you're dirty. Let's break up and give each other the last bit of dignity. Think it through. If you break up with me, you'll have nothing. Even now, Gu Hongshan was still trying to threaten me with material things. I've thought it through. Let's break up. I'll move out today, and this ring, I'm returning it to you as well. I took off the 10-carat engagement ring and handed it to Gu Hongshan. He instinctively tried to hold my hand, but I quickly pulled it back, and he only grabbed a handful of air. I directly closed the door and started packing my clothes. Gu Hongshan was right about one thing: I would have nothing if I left him. When I dragged my suitcase out, Gu Hongshan was still standing at the door. Xiaojing, can't you forgive me just this once? Our 5-year relationship. Are you really going to give it up like this? I paused. Looking at him, I said, Gu Hongshan, you were the one who gave up on our relationship first, and we'll never see each other again. I carried my luggage and walked aimlessly on the street. A car stopped behind me, and the window rolled down. It was my tutor, Liang Ru. When I dropped out of school, Teacher Liang felt very sorry and kept saying, you shouldn't give up your dreams for a man. My dream was to be a top-notch fashion designer and hold my own fashion show, but how could I listen when I was deeply trapped in the maze of love? Now I regret it. Teacher Liang didn't ask too many questions. She took my luggage and put it in the trunk, then took me to her home. A teacher is a teacher. Without me saying anything, she knew what had happened. Have a good rest. You're still young, and there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. With tears in my eyes, I nodded. Teacher Liang has always cared about me, even when I was at school. After resting for 2 days, I expressed my idea of pursuing a postgraduate degree. Teacher Liang was very happy. You should have thought of this long ago. At any time, don't become someone else's accessory. What was bound to come eventually arrived, and Gu came to the door. Xiaojing, did you two have a fight? No, Auntie, we broke up. Although it was just an engagement. It seems a bit better than getting divorced after marriage. Auntie's face turned red and then pale. But Hongshan really has you in his heart and eyes. You know that. Yes, I did know. Last year, when we went up for sketching, there was a landslide. I was unfortunately buried, and it was the next day when I was rescued. When I woke up again, only Gu Hongshan was by my side. When he saw me wake up, he even forgot to call the doctor. He grabbed my hand and cried without warning, letting his tears fall on the back of my hand. Scalding hot. You're awake. You finally woke up, I said slowly. It's okay. It's all over. I'm fine now. To take care of me, he put aside his work and stayed by my side in the hospital without leaving for a single step. Even the secretary's calls were transferred directly to me. I didn't want to see him give up his work for me. You should go to work. I can manage. Don't worry. Gu Hongshan got a bit angry when I wouldn't let him take care of me. It took me a long time to soothe him, and then he was willing to go to work. Just when I thought this matter was over, I heard his phone call in the middle of the night. Mom, you know, when Xiaojing was rescued, she was covered in blood. I thought I'd lost her. My heart was broken. I didn't dare to leave her for a second. I was so afraid she'd disappear. What would I do without her? At that moment, I realized that he loved me deeply. But when did this deep love start to change, Auntie? His love for me is real, but his infidelity is also real. I will never forgive him. Seeing my firm attitude, and Gu didn't know what else to say. Xiaojing, Humshin is sorry for you. Auntie is sorry for you. Even if we don't have the fate to be mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, I'll always be your aunt. If you need help in the future, just come to me directly. I smiled faintly. It didn't matter anymore. From now on, we'll go our separate ways. I hope we'll never see each other again, but he still showed up. I glanced at Auntie. I asked him to come. I thought you young people should talk things out. After saying that, Aunt Gu left. Xiaojing, I don't agree to break up. We're already engaged. I looked at him, my eyes showing no emotion. People can get divorced even after getting married. So, how can I belong to you just because of an engagement? I don't need your consent. I'm unilaterally announcing our breakup. Gu Hongshan, the president of a listed company and the prince of the Hong Kong business circle, was sitting opposite me, crying like a child at this moment. Please, give me another chance. I really know I was wrong. This belated affection is cheaper than grass. I will never believe such lies again. Gu Hongshan, save some face for yourself. I feel ashamed just sitting here. If it's about getting back together, there's no need to look for me again in the future. After saying that, I got up and left. Since I said it was over, it means that no matter what, I won't make the same mistake again. I blocked everyone related to Gu Hongshan and focused on preparing for the postgraduate entrance exam, but there was someone who wasn't afraid of death and insisted on courting trouble. I received an email. It was a B ultrasound scan. Bai Ling couldn't sit still so soon. I forwarded this B ultrasound scan to the official website of Gu Hongshan's company, with the note, a new Yen master is coming. Although the PR team tried to suppress the hot topic as soon as possible, it was already too late. For a while, the media reposted it one after another, and it quickly topped the hot search, and I was also on the hot search. After all, the luxury of the engagement a few days ago had exceeded the imagination of many people. After it fermented, I left a comment below. Congratulations, you got the wrong person, President Gu Hongshan and I have peacefully broken up. I tagged Bai Ling. This is the real one. Then I tagged Gu Hongshan below. Congratulations, looking forward to your early marriage. Bai Ling also topped the hot search, and her identity and background were dug out. Someone revealed that they were seen going to a hotel together during the engagement. There were also rumors of a car sex incident. He was getting engaged to me in a high-profile way while fooling around with someone else and getting her pregnant. Gu Hongshan and Bai Ling were severely criticized, and the company's stock price plummeted. He had no choice but to hold a press conference. The way Gu Hongshan lowered his head to explain and apologize in front of the camera was somewhat similar to the way I was seeing off guests on the engagement day. Life is a cycle. Teacher Liang still found out about the hot search incident. I thought you just broke up and had a fight. I didn't expect. My heart ached, and my eyes became moist. Teacher, he was still fooling around on the engagement day. He even tried to hide it from me. Afterward, he said that this is how things are in the Hong Kong business circle. He clearly knew that I only had him, yet he treated me like this. I thought I wouldn't cry for Gu Hongshan anymore, but tears still fell when someone cared about me. Teacher Liang patted me on the shoulder to comfort me. Silly child, don't cry. Losing you is his misfortune, and when you lose something, God will surely compensate you in some way. You're preparing for postgraduate study now. In the future, don't rely on others anymore. You'll have a vast world to soar in. Yes, Teacher Liang was right. I won't rely on others anymore. Previously, in order to stay in the Hong Kong business circle and by Gu Hongshan's side, I gave up the opportunity to study abroad. To be worthy of his status, I restricted myself everywhere and participated in social activities I didn't like. But now, I don't need to give up myself for him. I can pursue my dreams. From now on, I'm no longer the beloved of Prince Gu. I'm just myself, Su Jing. I stopped crying and smiled, and a long-lost light sparkled in my eyes. Yes, I'll have a vast world to soar in. But Gu Hongshan still didn't seem to realize it. He still sent flowers to Teacher Liang's home for me. He's always been proud. After I refused several times and sent the flowers back to his company intact, he probably felt it was boring, so he stopped bothering, and I finally had some peace. I put all my energy into preparing for the postgraduate entrance exam. I chose a foreign school, hoping to leave here as soon as possible. On the day I submitted the application materials, I met Gu Hongshan again. The setting sun stretched his shadow very long. A scarlet dot was at his fingertips, and there were cigarette butts all over the ground, as if he had been waiting for a long time. I don't like the smell of cigarettes, so it was the first time I saw a cigarette between his fingers. Almost the moment he saw me, he walked straight towards me. I haven't seen you for a long time. Are you planning to go abroad? Which country are you going to? I glanced at him. This is my business. It has nothing to do with you. His expression cracked bit by bit, almost unable to hold up. I walked past him, planning to leave. Bai Ling has left, and the child has been aborted. Now can we get back together? I really didn't follow up on the aftermath of the press conference. I didn't want to waste my time on irrelevant people. That's your business. I don't want to know. Gu Hongshan suddenly grabbed my hand, stopping me from moving forward. Stop making trouble. If you want to go abroad, I won't stop you. Just don't break up with me. I broke free from Gu Hongshan's hand. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. If you keep pestering me, I won't mind sending you back to the hot search again. Seeing that I wasn't moved, Gu Hongshan dropped his pretense. Have you had enough? All these years, you've been living off me. I just had some fun with a woman outside. After graduating from university, I found a job. But Gu Hongshan said, if you go out to work, where will my face as the prince of the business circle go? Can't I afford to support you? In the end, it became that I was living off him. Are you going to make such a big deal out of it? You even made it a hot search topic, making me a laughingstock and getting scolded by my father. To tell you the truth, I had affairs with other women even before Bai Ling. But so what? You should know that the person in my heart is you. Now that I'm back here begging you, take the chance and reconcile with me. Gu Hongshan was the first person who could be so shameless and justify it so grandly, putting me in his heart while having affairs with other women. Such a Gu Hongshan only makes me feel more disgusted. We used to quarrel. When I was angry, I would just ignore him. He wasn't in a hurry. When an apology didn't work, he would do something to stir up my emotions. Whether I was angry or furious, as long as my emotions were in turmoil, he would have a chance. But he was wrong. Now I don't have any love for him. So how could I have emotional fluctuations? How much money have you spent? Send me a list directly to my email. I'll pay you back as soon as possible. Gu Hongshan's mouth twitched. He probably didn't expect me to say this. What? Are you afraid I won't pay you back? I can write you an IOU, I said sarcastically. Gu Hongshan still didn't give up. I don't mean to ask you to pay back the money, knowing that you're going abroad. I've prepared some things for you in the car. I'll get them for you now. See, the one who falls in love first loses. It was me before, and now it's Gu Hongshan. It's really ridiculous. 1 second he was full of confidence, and the next he was trying hard to please. I won't accept his kindness. My tone was gentle, calm, but firm. No need. I think your things are dirty, and don't ever appear in front of me again. I feel disgusted even looking at you. Not hating you is already my bottom line. If you keep provoking me, my words were like a sharp sword, making Gu Hongshan dare not move forward. The day before I went abroad, I met Bai Ling. She was wearing sunglasses and proudly invited me to have a drink. I originally wanted to refuse, since everyone in the coffee shop was quiet. I was afraid that leaving directly would cause unnecessary trouble. While I was hesitating, Bai Ling spoke directly. Don't you want to know why he doesn't want you? Bai Ling handed me the cappuccino she had ordered, then stroked her lower abdomen with her other hand. I'm pregnant. I'm not supposed to drink coffee. So, Gu Hongshan had lied to me again. I smiled slightly, looking at her showing off manner as if I were the mistress. Thank you for the coffee, but I don't like cappuccino anymore. Then I directly answered Bai Ling's curiosity in the next sentence. People change, not to mention their tastes. Bai Ling still didn't give up. It's this kind of seemingly aloof look of yours that's the most annoying. Even in school, you seemed not to care about anything, but in the end, everything was yours. Relying on having a rich boyfriend, you condescended to me. At that time, I swore that I would take away what was yours. Bai Ling was a real poor student. She couldn't even afford to buy vegetables in college. At that time, I was already Gu Hongxin's girlfriend. Seeing her difficulties, I always gave her my meals under various pretexts. I also gave her clothes and bags. Who knew that my kindness hurt her self-esteem? I still didn't say anything, not knowing what her purpose was for coming to me. We're getting married soon. I hope you won't pester Hongxin anymore. I don't have the habit of picking up trash, but since you like it, I wish you happiness. My answer was without any emotion, and Bai Ling couldn't figure out my attitude. I hope you mean what you say. Don't see Hongxin again. I snorted softly. Maybe you should keep a closer eye on him so that he doesn't come looking for me again. Bai Ling was so angry that her chest heaved up and down. She took out a card from her bag. There's quite a bit of money here. I hope you'll go abroad and never come back. I didn't take the card. Your man wants me to pay him back. But you're here giving me money. I don't understand what you two are up to. How about this? I won't take your money either. You can use it to offset the debt I owe your man. Bai Ling was stunned. She didn't know that I owed money, just as Gu Hongxin didn't know that Bai Ling was giving me money to leave. After a brief moment to calm down, Bai Ling regained her haughty demeanor. If you don't want the money, fine. I hope you'll leave and never come back. Gu Hongxin will forget about you too. I didn't even bother to look at her. The last sentence seemed so empty. I wasn't sure if it was meant for me or for herself. Half a year after I went abroad, I received an email. There was an invitation card and a few photos. On the hospital bed, Bai Ling was holding a pink-cheeked baby. Brother Shen said I've worked hard and that I made him a father. The whole family loves this baby, especially Hongxin. He said the baby looks exactly like me. Everyone is congratulating us. When a media interview mentioned your name, he couldn't even remember it. Bai Ling's words, one by one, seemed like she was asserting her sovereignty, but in fact, she was extremely nervous. It's quite funny. Do you have to show me this to prove your happiness? Actually, I had received an email from Gu Hongxin a few days ago. She's about to give birth. If you don't want it, I can stop her, or if you come back, we can consider the child as ours. I have to say that Gu Hongxin's way of thinking is still as strange as ever, considering that Bai Ling was the first to inform me. I sent her a big gift in return. I directly forwarded her email to Gu Hongxin with the words, "Congratulations on achieving your goal. The next time I returned to the country was for promoting my brand, but it was already 2.5 years later. To make up for the wasted time, I studied desperately and finally graduated 1 year ahead of schedule. It took me another half year to build a brand, only I know how much effort I put into it. After the promotion in Shanghai, I received numerous favorable comments, which was a great start. I just didn't expect to run into Gu Hongxin. He seemed to have seen me a long time ago, his eyes fixed on me, and I was so calm that not even a ripple could be stirred up. Gu Hongxin walked closer. "Xiao Jing, long time no see. How have you been?" I nodded. "I've been well." I saw him nervously clench his fists, and his tone was humble. "What happened in the past was all my fault. I'm really sorry, but I promise I'll never do it again. Can you give me another chance to pursue you?" I looked up at him without hesitation for a second. "No, and I forgot to tell you, your promises are already worthless in front of me." Gu Hongxin's eyes were red. "Even if Bai Ling's child isn't mine, you still won't give me a chance," I sneered. "A cheater gets cheated on. That's how it should be, now. Do you think you're still worthy of me?" After saying that, I walked away directly. Gu Hongxin tried to reach out and grab me, but he caught nothing but air. I had already said that I wouldn't look back. Even after walking a long way, I could still hear Gu Hongxin sobbing. But what did it have to do with me? When I transferred flights in Hong Kong to go abroad, I deliberately set aside some time to visit Teacher Lian. Time has never been harsh on kind-hearted people. She was still as elegant and beautiful as ever. You've really made it. You can soar freely in the vast world. Yes, thank you so much. Teacher Liang was not only my teacher but also my friend, and she was the one who knew me best. If it weren't for Teacher Liang's help, even if I left Gu Hongshan, I wouldn't have achieved so much. Teacher Liang was alone at home, and I wanted to take her to Europe with me. Teacher Liang refused, so I stayed here to accompany her. The Hong Kong business circle is only so big. I ran into Bai Ling while having a meal. She seemed to have aged a lot and was actually serving dishes in the restaurant. The wife of the Gu family serving dishes. Sensing my scrutinizing gaze, she walked over without any hesitation. Didn't you say you'd never come back? Why are you here? It must be because of you that Gu Hongshan wants to divorce me. I quietly watched her act like a buffoon, jumping around. The manager came out to stop her and apologized to me. Teacher Liang told me about Bai Ling. It turned out that the child Bai Ling gave birth to wasn't healthy. Later, when they checked the blood, they found that the blood type didn't match Gu Hongshan's. After a DNA test, it was confirmed that the child wasn't Gu Hongshan's. The Gu family was furious, and the two got divorced. The child, who had lost financial support, didn't survive long. Gu Hongshan wasn't completely heartless, but he did tell major companies not to hire Bai Ling. In the end, Bai Ling, who had schemed so much, got nothing. Truly, the wicked do get their just deserts. After leaving the restaurant, Bai Ling was waiting for me by the roadside. Are you satisfied seeing me like this? I didn't have the time to watch others' misfortunes, but if she insisted on coming to me, I didn't mind. I've spent several years. But he still has you in his heart. Since your engagement, he's never touched me again. Even after we got married, he still didn't want to touch me. Tell me, was he saving himself for you? It's ridiculous. A playboy saving himself for me. Even a dog wouldn't believe it, but Bai Ling did. This doesn't seem like you. Think about how smug you were the first time you slept with him. Think about how he stood me up again and again because of you, and, on the engagement day, you two even planned to have sex. You could do so many things while being the mistress. Why don't you have the courage now that he's single? Maybe it was out of curiosity, or perhaps a bit of pity. I actually hoped that Bai Ling would cause a ruckus in the Gu family. The mistake was made by both of them, but currently, it seems that the weaker one is bearing the consequences. Sure enough, Bai Ling didn't disappoint me. The Gu family was on the hot search again. Bai Ling caused a scene at Mrs. Gu's birthday party, claiming that the Gu family favored sons over daughters and that the baby girl she gave birth to was killed. Even if Gu Hongshan showed the DNA results, it couldn't cover it up because Bai Ling said the report was fake. The child was no longer alive, and the result couldn't be verified again. A party meant to introduce a partner to Gu Hongshan turned into a farce. The stock price dropped significantly. Old Mr. Gu was so angry that he had a heart attack and passed away. Mrs. Gu couldn't bear the blow and had a mental breakdown and was hospitalized. Gu Hongshan, in a fit of anger, drove into Bai Ling. Bai Ling became a vegetable, and the chance of her waking up was said to be very slim. They say mental illness can be hereditary. Maybe Gu Hongshan had a bit of it too. It was just that for my sake, he suppressed his true nature. Everything comes full circle. I wasn't crushed by the betrayal and instead got out of the abyss without hesitation. I'm living a relaxed and carefree life. As for Gu Hongshan and Bai Ling, they finally reaped what they sowed. The once great business empire of the Gu family ceased to exist overnight. Some of my former friends hoped that I could go and see Gu Hongshan. I refused directly. My friend's tone became a bit resentful when he spoke again. This might be his last request, considering your relationship over the years. Can't you just go and see him? No, you're so cold-blooded. I snorted softly. Yeah, I had already said that not hating him was the limit of my tolerance. There was really nothing more I could do. Later, I went to the hospital to visit Mrs. Gu. They said she was mentally ill, but she recognized me at a glance. It's all Hongshan's fault for not cherishing you. That's why our family ended up like this. It's also my fault and your uncle's for not educating him well. I didn't respond to Aunt Goo. I just pushed her to enjoy the sunshine by the sea. The phone was picked up after just one ring. Before I could say anything, a long time later, I got married. My husband is French, and we have a mixed-race daughter. When the child grew up, she insisted on visiting my university. I took my husband to recall the past. The little girl was running freely on the grass, and my husband and I were walking slowly behind her until we passed the street in front of the school. The alley full of graffiti. My daughter asked me in surprise, "Mom, is this your name, Su Jing?" I nodded. My husband teased me. "It seems you were quite popular back then. Who is chasing you?" With just one glance, I knew who wrote it, but it didn't matter anymore. I've forgotten, vaguely. I still remembered that at that time, in order to prepare a birthday surprise for me, he painted the whole alley with my favorite graffiti by himself. But later, none of it mattered. Suddenly thinking of Gu Hongshan, I thought I would be sad, but my heart seemed as calm as a mirror, not a single ripple. All I felt was a tinge of regret, lost in thought. My husband took my hand. "What shall we have for dinner today, my queen?" He always calls me queen, although it's a joke. He looks so serious, as if he really is a knight. I held his hand back. "I can eat anything as long as I'm with you." In the heat of the moment, we were about to kiss. Our daughter ran over. "I want a kiss too." My husband picked her up and placed her in the middle. I kissed her on the left, and my husband kissed her on the right. What a happy and loving family. The end.